In tonight's Ask Anthony, a young man with dreams of flying for the military says one crash on the ground ended the future he'd spent years working toward. He claims a waste management truck slammed into his Jeep on Jacksonville's south side, leaving him with injuries that still follow him every day. And his attorney says his story is one of many. Tonight they're asking for answers and accountability.
So my career goals is I wanted to join the military and go in the WAFT program, which is strictly flying.
Will Hines had his future set in the cockpit of a military aircraft, but the 22-year-old says that path was derailed in an instant.
It was a very short period of time before I saw the truck, so all I could do was slam on the brakes and honk.
1 year ago, on a November morning, while on a breakfast run, he stopped in the Tinseltown parking lot off Southside Boulevard. Seconds later, he says the waste management truck barreled into his Jeep. The photos may not show major damage, but Hines says the injuries tell a different story.
I mean, right away, I knew instantly my head was hurting, my neck, my hip, and my lower back. Those all were hurting, and of those, I still have herniations in my neck and in my lower back.
Hines' attorney, Nick Martino, says this video shows the truck driver looking the opposite direction just moments before impact. Court documents show the driver was ticketed for careless driving. Martino says the crash shouldn't have happened.
What that video shows, it goes back about 8 to 10 seconds prior to the impact, is that the driver is cutting through a parking aisle in the Tinseltown parking lot and is simply not paying attention to anything to his right side.
I reviewed at least 14 lawsuits filed against Waste Management in the past 3 years, 3 still open in Duval and Clay counties. So in the first open lawsuit, a Jacksonville man says his morning took a painful turn when a garbage truck crashed into his parked pickup and trailer. He claims he was safely off on the side of the road when the driver hit him, causing serious and lasting injuries. Another open lawsuit claims a woman was hurt when a waste management truck moved into her lane and hit her car near 103rd Street and Firestone Road. She claims she was driving normally when the driver made an unsafe lane change, causing the crash. According to the lawsuit, she suffered serious long-term injuries. In the first case, the waste management driver denied most of the claims and said the plaintiff could be partly or even mostly to blame for the crash. In the second case, the company admitted to some details but still denied any wrongdoing, challenging the plaintiff's version of events and the seriousness of the injuries. Martino says his client's life will never be the same.
A young man who at 21 years old went from somebody with his future in front of him, the only unknowns were how good it was going to be, to now the unknowns being how many times a year does he have to get nerves burnt out of his neck?
Since December 1st, I've contacted Waste Management twice through email. That's the only method of contact listed for media questions. I asked about driver training, safety protocols, and allegations the company disputes fault even when drivers are cited. I haven't received a response. However, on December 8th, attorneys for the company filed a new court document admitting the driver was negligent in Hines' crash. Martino says in court the defense even mentioned they were aware I had contacted the company for comment on this story. While the document shows Waste Management is admitting negligence, they still dispute how badly Hines was hurt, saying he exaggerated his injuries and has been observed in photographs doing physical activities since the accident.
Completely derailed things, if you ask me. I did sports, I did pickleball, golf, basketball, all these things. I hung out with friends almost every day doing these sorts of activities, and to completely stop that has made me a completely different person.
And Hines says his recovery will be ongoing for the rest of his life with regular doctor visits, chiropractic care, and procedures to treat nerve damage in his neck and back. On Tuesday, I reached out for a third time by email to the attorneys for Waste Management for comment. I have not received a response. Remember, if you have a problem you just can't solve, you can always email me at askanthony@firstcoastnews.com.